ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Nadeau Hulse wedding reception. Momentarily, we'll commence with introductions. Before we do, there are a few individuals I would like to introduce, ask them to rise and be acknowledged. They are grandparents of the bride, Fernand and Pauline Nadeau. Grandfather of the groom, Leonard Hickman, and our thoughts are with Betty Hickman. Great-grandmother of the groom, Gladys Hulse. Grandmother of the groom, Kathy Hulse. Grandparents of the groom, Brian and Dee Hulse. And on a personal note, have you ever been to a wedding where you've seen so many grandparents? So, we are ready for introductions. Leading us off, please extend a warm welcome to the parents of the bride, Dennis and Peggy Nadeau. Mother of the groom, Betsy Hulse, escorted by uncle of the groom, Brad Hulse. Father of the groom, Scott Hulse, escorting his wife, Holly Hulse. Leading them off, Sarah Waters with Davin Williams.
I'm wearing all my favorite brands. You give me space for both my hands. You, cause it goes on and on and on. And it goes on and on and on.
Victoria Hulse with Danny Mariola. Stephanie Hulse with Matthew Kuzmano.
I'm wearing all my favorite brands. You give me space for both my hands. You, cause it goes on and on and on. And it goes on and on and on.
Maid of honor, Chelsea Nadeau with best man, Kenneth Hall.
Came to move, get out the way of me and my crew.
Ladies and gentlemen, please rise. And put your hands together. For it gives me great pleasure to introduce Mr. and Mrs. Christopher Hulse! Now, ladies and gentlemen, before I introduce their first dance, I'm going to share with you the story of how Danny and Chris met, fell in love, and brought us to this happy day. You may want to sit. It's going to take a few minutes. Now you all know that Verizon brought them together, and I'll explain that in a minute. First, we're taking a look at their remarkably unremarkable childhoods. Danny spent most of her young life in Manchester. She did ballet, gymnastics, basketball, soccer, and she was a cheerleader. She graduated from Manchester High in 2004. Now Chris lived in West Haven for much of the same time. He played soccer and he liked to bowl. He enjoyed singing and sang in high school for all 4 years. It seems his family is a collection of singers, and generations of his family performed in a 60s singing group called the Flashbacks. Chris graduated from West Haven High, a Blue Devil is he, in June of 2004. Danny went to college at AIC while Chris joined the Army. After leaving the military, Chris eventually ended up working at Verizon Wireless in 2008. Now Danny was involved in all kinds of things in college, from campus radio station to the school newspaper to student government, and graduated clearly the brains of this operation. Magna cum laude in 2008. In November of 2008, she went to work for Verizon Wireless, a new hire, along with Chris. Both found themselves in the new hire training class that month. Now, during class, Danny became frustrated with her inability to solve materials involving math on a bill. So on break from what was a trying session, Chris approached and offered to help her comprehend the material. Looks like he has a brain or two himself, huh? So Danny moved her seat next to Chris's, and in her words, it was all downhill from there. But while Verizon brought them together, and it brought no speed to the relationship. They hung out with friends on and off for about 6 months. The first official date came when after this 6-month non-relationship, they went out to dinner at Chili's. It was a casual affair. I mean, after all, they had been hanging out sporadically now for 6 months. They had dinner, no dessert. Chris doesn't do dessert. And after dinner, they went back to Chris's, and in Danny's words, hung out. Now, we got to pause here because in telling the story, Danny said, and I quote, "We went back to Chris's house to hang out, wink." Now, I have no idea what wink means, but, I hope you had a good time winking. It took some more months before both of them got the idea that, that maybe this relationship would work. So along around Valentine's Day of 2010, Chris actually said the words, "I love you." Now for the record, Danny said it back to Chris. Now the proposal, and give them credit for picking a good day. It was Christmas 2010. They spent the day with Chris's family. You know, they did the usual. They opened gifts, they ate a big dinner, enjoyed everybody's company. The two headed home, plopped down on the couch, and decided that big dinner or not, they were both hungry. So, you know, what else to do but order Chinese food on Christmas night, right? They had a wonderful cross-cultural evening, eating Chinese food and watching Christmas movies. Chris then ostensibly decided to go upstairs and get his clothes ready for tomorrow because on day 2 of Christmas, the plan was to spend the day with Chris's father, Scott, and his stepmom, Molly. So while sitting on the couch, Danny heard Chris's call for her to come upstairs for a minute. Danny didn't feel much like getting off the couch. You know, a Christmas dinner and a couple cartons of Chinese. That'll do it to you. But she sighed and she trudged upstairs. As she walked into the bedroom, Chris came around the bed. He got down on one knee, and before he could say the words, Danny started to cry. She remembers 2 things. 1, Chris said, "Will you marry me?" And 2, she remembers saying yes. It happened just before midnight, Christmas Day 2010. Merry Christmas. And so in conclusion, we wish you both a long and happy life filled with Christmas days. And now to celebrate this beautiful occasion, let me get my next song queued up. I'm not that quick tonight. To celebrate this beautiful occasion, they've selected the song "I Won't Give Up" by Jason Mraz to commemorate their wedding. Once again, Danielle and Chris.
When I look into your eyes, it's like watching the night sky. Oh, beautiful sunrise, but there's so much fake world. And just like the old stars, I see that you've come so far to be right where you are. Your soul. Well, I won't give up on us, even if the skies get rough. I'm giving you all my love. I'm still looking up.
Now let's invite their wedding party and family to join them, please.
Your space to do some navigating. I'll be here patiently waiting to see what you find. Even the stars, they burn. Some even fall to the earth. We got a lot to learn. God knows we're worth it. No, I won't give up. And in the end, you're still my friend. At least we did intend for us to work. We didn't break, we didn't burn. We had to learn how to bend without the world caving in. I had to learn what I got and what I'm not, and who I am. I won't give up. God knows I'm tough. He knows we got a lot to learn. God knows we're worth it.
Danielle and Chris. And now, ladies and gentlemen, we'll give everybody a moment to find their seats for grace and toast.